We should talk about the record company a little bit because they got a new album coming out. But just a reset for the people who don't know. So didn't you guys get together? It was an ad that you guys put out, right?
Yeah, man. There was I'd moved to LA and I didn't know anybody, and I moved there because my wife got a job out there, and she had been in Wisconsin with me. And she really kind of wanted to leave. You know, she was like, I want to live in New York, I want to live in LA. And my whole thing with it was like, we can do that, but, you know, I'm going to be fucking worthless for a while, you know, because like at that point I had established myself in my scene and I was making a living. So I knew if I moved to LA or New York, I was like, man, this is going to be, I'm going to go right down to the bottom of the barrel. You know?
So locally, your band was doing very well in Wisconsin? Is that
we were? Yeah, I mean, like the band wasn't doing so hot, honestly. I had figured out like I'd opened like a school, like a guitar school, and I had like 6-7 guys working for me. So with me,
like a School of Rock kind of thing.
Yeah, kind of like that. I had another guy, a partner, who had been doing it for years, and he kind of showed me the ropes, and we opened his joint. And that was how I made my living, and I was doing all right. You know, I wasn't going to be a rich man, but I was doing all right. Yeah. You know, and I didn't really care about money. You know, I just wanted to make music. And then when we moved to LA,
can I stop you for 1 second?
Yeah.
So what was your wife doing that this move had to be made?
She got a job at the LA Times.
Oh, wow.
So she had an opportunity that was like basically like, Chris, I've got this opportunity, and I was like, I can't stand in the way of this, baby. I'm like, I was already married to her, and I was like, I'm going let's do it. I said, go. She got on a plane, went, I packed up our place, I sold my business. 3 weeks later, I was in Los Angeles.
Wow. And you gave up everything on
your end.
Gave up
everything. But I said to her, I'm like, as long as you know that if we go to LA, there's only one thing I can do.
Right.
And I'm like, and I'm not going to open a music school in LA. If I'm going to be in one of the entertainment capitals of the world, I'm going to have to go for it. You know, so got out there and started getting gigs. She made a thing. She's like, you know, go to the musicians wanted part of Craigslist. And I was like, you got to be kidding me. I'm not fucking doing that. You know, but like many things, she's smarter than me, and she was right. So my dream was pretty much dead, done, over.
Yeah, no kidding.
You know, and I had thought, I never really thought, well, I can do this. You know, that's why I never moved in the first place.
Right.
You know, I'd love to say, you know, I'd love to take the credit and go like, oh yeah, I had the fucking balls to do this on my own. I had faith in myself. I didn't have faith in myself. I didn't believe in myself at all. I fucking went out there and it was survival. It was like, I want to stay married. I want to provide something here for my wife. And I was like, I got to fucking fight for this.
Right.
So that's what made me do it. And then I ended up putting up an ad on Craigslist being like, this is what I like, this is what I do. And it was like, you get these, you know, you didn't get anything good. Then what ended up happening, and as I had gone on the road with a band, because I was a good side guy, I could sing and play every instrument, so it was like I was getting gigs, but they were side guy gigs, weren't paying a lot, but I was getting in the scene. And Alex, our bass player, who produced the record, both records, really, really smart guy, he was kind of at the same point I was at. He had been out in LA for a long time, and he was like kind of at the point where he was like, you know what, fuck this. I don't think it's going to happen for me. Maybe I got to change careers. And he said he literally went on this musicians thing. He had never been on it. And he saw the title of my ad, which my wife had changed without me knowing it. Because she's in advertising.
Yeah, of course.
And she freaking looked at it and she read what I said. And she was like, because I called her, I was like, hey man, my ad's about to expire. Could you renew it? And she like went to renew it and she looked at it and she's like, this is terrible. So she rewrote it, made me sound cooler than I am or ever will be.
I love this story.
And that's how Alex called me. We hit it off. We started hanging out, and about a year later, we started the band.
Did you have what was your first job in LA? Or did you go right to the music thing? Or
no, man, I went all the way back, you know. I had always taken pride in the fact, like, I grew up on a farm, and then I worked as an electrician in the off years. I really liked that kind of life.
Okay.
You know, but then I went to school in Milwaukee and I graduated college, made a little deal with my mother. She was like, I was like, I love my mom. She's the best. But she was like, all right, if you go to college and get your degree, I'll never give you any shit about anything you choose to do. So I was like, well, I'm going to do music. So I went and I graduated, and then she never gave me any. She was very
Go to Marquette?
I went to UW Milwaukee.
Okay, all
I wasn't smart enough for Marquette.
I was upgrading you, Chris.
No, I appreciate it. But yeah, I where the hell was I? I can't remember.
Just your first job in LA.
Yeah, my first job in LA. So I had, you know, and then I started my music school.
Right.
So I'd never had that big heaping humility moment where like I had to go. So after all the shit I did, college degree, owning my own business, et cetera, when I moved to LA, it was before there was Uber and shit, which I really wish would have existed because I could have actually just done that.
Yeah.
Man, I had to like, I remember the low point was delivering pizzas to a high school and getting fucking laughed at, like mocked, you know.
Why? You didn't look the part?
Oh man, and I'm in there in my little suit and the whole deal, and like, you know, that was where I was at. And I remember thinking to myself, I was like, I'm sure in some way this is a character building moment, but right now this just sucks.
Yeah, of course.
And now that we've, you know, the band got moving and things have happened, I'm actually really proud of that shit.
Right.
Because it was dark.
You should go back to that high school.
I worked for a moving company.
I thought you were going to say something else like, Opie, please.
I said pizzas.
Opie, you know the political environment, right? You can't be saying shit.
So, you know, that's how I did it.
You were
know,
humbled a little bit, or?
You know, I don't know if I needed to be humbled, but if I needed it, I got a little bigger dose.
Okay.
You know, I never really had that big a thing about myself. I just kind of wanted to work my ass off and be worthy of whatever I got, you know?
So then how did you guys get Mark?
He was buddies with Alex.
Oh, he was? Okay.
Yeah.
And how many years ago was that now?
We got together in late 2011, started playing 2012.
Man, you guys moved to the top fast,
Thanks,
bro.
man.
Oh, my God.
Well, we had all been you know, this is something that maybe be interesting to chat with you about here. You know, to do all the things you've done in radio and all the adventures you've been on, haven't you found that when you have to look the death of your dream in the eye,
right,
that's when the shit really starts happening?
Yes. When you throw it all away and don't take it so seriously, too.
Yeah, exactly. We were like, we didn't care if anybody listened to us.
Right.
We were like, we want to play rock and roll.
Right.
Music that we love, and we don't really care.
Yeah.
And that was the first time I'd ever taken that stance in a band where I literally was like, I'm going to do whatever the fuck I want, and that's it. And then it turned out to be the thing that started working.
They always say when you stop taking it so seriously and just relax and just have a good time and have fun, it all starts happening. I'm working with guys I really like now.
Yeah.
And I'm at the stage where I'm like, I don't really care how many people listen.
Right, sure.
These guys might care, but I mean, I've done it. I've been to the top. It wasn't as awesome as I thought it was because there was a lot to it that, you know, a lot of stress and a lot of just crap that I had to deal with. And now this is just so freeing.
Well, in the Bowie documentary, didn't he say, back to the documentary thing?
Oh, yeah, that's another great one.
And he says something like, when you can no longer feel the bottom, that's when the art starts.
Right.
Or something like that.
Well,
I'm probably
that's a good
ruining
quote.
it.
I agree
Well,
with that.
that's a good quote.
But Opie's done it 12 times. It's exhausting.
So
Yeah, I guess.
I mean,
I love you, Carl.
Opie has 37 comeback stories.
No, you're 100% right. I mean, I'm self-destructive by nature. I get bored, I guess. I get bored. I don't know.
yeah, but
You didn't do anything wrong last time. As
No,
far as I'm
the
concerned.
last one wasn't
I'm a
on
witness
me.
to that.
I've been fired 3 or 4 times. Oh, you
I'm
cra-
joking.
you mother.
He's trying to be cool in front of the rock star, bro.
He's trying to look
Full-blown
right.
rock star.
He's
He's trying to be a douche.
I'll ask
got
Chris
stage
though.
fright.
All right, so you're in a band. You're with a bunch of guys that you feel like you really know, right?
Yeah.
So that was our crew at Sirius XM. We had a nice little crew, and one of our guys I thought we could have a little fun with, like we have fun with each other. So, should I even talk about this again?
We took a picture of the dude. in the back.
No. So I'm on Instagram Live. I'm not live. Instagram story. And our buddy's in a stall. So as a goof, I'm like, hey, I'm going over the top. And I go over the top like you would do with your friends, right? I'm sure you have stories like this. Please help me.
Does it look like he does?
Chris is kind of squirming now.
My point is, I
I'm
would never.
shifting into Michael Corleone chair.
But my point is, I would never do something like this if I didn't know the room and the people I was around.
Well,
And-
did you learn something?
Oh, wow, that's a good question. Have I learned?
Yeah. Don't spend all your money.
Well, there were other examples of this. I have a picture of all of us. It was one of the funniest days ever. And Daryl Hammond was down there, and Jim Gaffigan, and Jay Leno came in.
Right.
And he was doing the show with Jim Norton at the time. And I held up my phone. We're all five. He's in the stall, and I just took a picture of all of us in the bathroom that day because everybody was funnier than me.
I mean, because I do edgy radio with a bunch of guys that get it, so we did all sorts of crazy ass shit like that. So it was a moment where I'm like, hey, I'm going over top, just being silly in front of all of us, because there was a bunch of us in the bathroom, and he wasn't naked. It's literally a G-rated video.
Yeah, you don't see anything.
It's literally a G-rated
He's
video.
super overweight, so even when he's naked, he's not really naked.
and I know
Carl is the reason that this cancer was brought into our lives.
Oh yeah, no, I knew it.
Thanks.
Oh no, you are actually.
I
okay,
actually,
good. Oh yeah, it was no, it's him, right? I forgot.
It's actually.
Thank you.
I can explain it like this: there are parents out there that actually give birth to their killer.
Okay. Okay. All right. Oh, nice.
Well, there are though. The Menendez,
Certainly,
okay.
no. You don't have to.
So I was the one that hired the guy and gave him a damn good career and really believed in him. And the company at the time didn't want to hire him, and we thought we were all tight. So that's why I did that, thinking he's one of the boys or one of the guys, right? And then I think nothing of it. I show him the thing. He's laughing his ass off. It's G-rated. I go, oh, please let me, post this. And he said no. So at that point, I'm like, okay, he doesn't want to post it. That was the end of it.
Delete.
Next thing I know, he stops even talking to us. He avoids us, even though he was a big part of booking the show. And then I find out that he went to Human Resources.
Oh boy.
And that
aren't you glad
it.
you don't have that in them? You don't have. There's no
human resources in rock and roll.
I was going to say.
How about there was no human resources in radio for a really long time, and they brought that nonsense into this game.
No, he got yelled at. I came in late one day, and he was in the hallway walking around like mumbling to himself. And I'm like, "What's the matter with you?" And he was like, "I've been down in the boardroom getting yelled at by about 9 guys in suits for like an hour." And I looked at him genuinely incredulous and went, "You mean like real job shit?"
Oh boy.
Yeah, man, you don't have a real job. I don't have a real job, but for some reason they turned it into a real job. I don't know why you would do that, but yeah.
Well, good thing you don't have one of those anymore.
No. No.
He shot that right now.
They did me a favor, Chris.
Yeah,
I'm so much happier. I'm not happy how it all went down, but I'm so much happier. So
You are happier.
yeah, way happier.
You ate meat the other day. That was awesome.
You had a beer that actually had some beer in it instead of fruit.
That didn't taste like grapefruits.
Tangerine,
Tangerine
lambic.
beer.
I like him. All right. I like.
You like beer, Chris? Do you like beer?
Yeah.
Do you like little girly
favorite
beers?
Well, what's your favorite beer? Or give me a few.
Whatever's in front of me. Well, shit. I mean,
cold, right and cold and free.
I'm
right
old
answer.
school. I like a good macro brew, so I'm like light. Yeah. Miller Lite.
There you go.
Schlitz.
Absolutely.
I like the old school beers like Schlitz, Peels. We were
talking about this the other
But
day.
I also, man, like, in my old hometown, Milwaukee, man, the Glarus is not a Milwaukee beer. It's up towards Madison. That's really good shit. Lakefront Brewery is great in Milwaukee. They kill it. The Lagunitas folks up in Northern California are really
That's
good.
Carl's buddies.
Yeah,
He knows
they're
the guy.
really good. They're awesome.
Good stuff. Let me know. I'm gonna get you the whole swag trains coming your way.
Oh yeah, I love those guys. We went and played their. They have like a band shell out there. Yeah, we played that a couple years ago. They're really good people, and again, they were another group of people that, like you, Opie, they came to us early.
Yeah, right
they
on.
brought us up there.
Those guys Lagunitas started in a garage in Northern California, and they ended up selling it to Heineken for $1 billion. Man, imagine that two stoners in their garage in 10 years. 10 years.
It's amazing.
Like billionaires.
And they're not billionaires.
That's crazy. I mean, the thing that kind of blows my mind about shit like that is, like, you got to figure out how to meet the demand. So you got to keep hiring people and like keep the quality somehow. And like, how do you do that? How do you figure that out?
I've always figured out that in every restaurant or alcohol company, there's always one person who has no friends and everybody hates because all he cares about is the product. And those companies thrive. You know, like the one Lagunitas guy was a dick, but he made unbelievable beer. Because that's all he cared about.
So, yeah, man.
You know what I mean?
You know, I
I'm
was
like,
just,
hey, how you doing? Yeah, good. Who are you? I'm like, I'm sorry, bro. I'm not a keg. I'm leaving. You know what I mean?
you know what I'm obsessed with, man?
Yeah.
I'm obsessed with the idea of the bottom of the ninth, 2 outs, like just speaking in metaphor here, but just kind of follow me for 1 second. 2 outs, bottom of the ninth. How do you hit the ball? People that hit the ball. I'm obsessed with how did they do that? And the conclusion I came to was, and I don't know if it's right, but it's definitely the way I've tried to think about things, is you got to only care about hitting the ball when it's time to hit the ball. Not about what's going to happen after you hit the ball. Before the ball, you have to be thinking and feeling that moment completely. And I think that's, when you do that, all the shit starts to line up, right? And it's like this guy with his beer, you know, he's like, that's just eye on the ball the whole time. He's not thinking about, where do I do this? What do I do? It's just, I'm going to hit the baseball. You know what I mean? And when you hit the ball, things happen. Yeah. You know what I mean?
I love your analogy, but I struck out in the bathroom that day.
Oh, yeah.
You did. That was just swing and a miss.
I pulled my back out swinging so hard.
Yeah, I opened a restaurant. It was one of the hardest things I ever did. We opened the restaurant and the power went out. There was an ice storm on our opening day, and we had $11 in the bank account. And then we couldn't open. We lost power for 3 days and had to throw away all of our inventory.
Wow.
Oh, shit.
And I was like, holy shit. So the next day that we had the power back on, I'm driving in my little car to my friend's restaurant. I said, can I borrow your food to make some money? And he's like, You're an idiot. Yeah, come over. Come just because I want to watch this. You know what I mean? Like, that's how restaurant people are so morbid. He's like, you're going down, bro. Come and get the lettuce. You know what I mean? So on my way back with all the food in the car, there's a lady on the side of the road with a flat tire on her bicycle. So I help her. You know, even with all the food, I put the bike on and I get her to her house in the town that I opened the restaurant. Ends up, she was the president of the homeowners association. And sent out an email. Everybody has to go to this kid's restaurant.
For real.
And that's what.
So the Good Samaritan actually paid off for you.
I got to jump in, though. But
and I've never been nice to anybody ever since. That's why my luck's gone to shit.
But I got to jump in to Chris's point. That's why you're successful. You could have folded and said, I'm done.
No way.
But at that moment, you figured out how to hit the ball. That's why I like the analogy. And you're like, I got to get this done.
Yeah.
I'm
relentless and also proficient in check forgery. But that's for another.
That's hitting the ball a whole different
Another
way.
broadcast.
Oh, I'm sorry. Earmuffs thing.
Yeah, we got a lawyer in the room right now.
I was kidding about everything.
So I guess we should move on to the new record company album. The first song, Life to Fix, is amazing.
Thanks, man.
And I've heard it probably at least 20 or 30 times already, and I'm not sick of it.
Awesome.
I'm not sick of it.
Thank you.
Yeah. Are you proud of you have to be proud of the song.
Yeah, man. What I'm proud of with the tune is that through all this stuff we just went through, I kind of figured out that, like, in the end, you're left with yourself. And if you're not healthy on the inside of that, you're going to be fucking miserable.
Right.
No matter how good or bad you have it, right? Mm-hmm. Kind of like what you were talking about before, height of the heights. And if you're not feeling all right about what's going down in your heart and your body, your mind, your situation, it's not good. So the song's like, get inside, like, work on that shit. That's take responsibility for yourself and figure yourself out before you start, and that was kind of the idea. Was like, after it was all said and done, I was like, the only way we're going to make a good record is to get inside and be real, and like, I could come on here and not talk about how I delivered pizzas to a high school. I'd probably be a lot cooler if I did.
No, you're way cooler.
No,
I did talk about that.
No, it's amazing.
But I don't want to fucking hold that shit back, man, because, what I'm trying to say, and, one of the reasons I wanted to come on here too, Opie, was because it's you helped us out, you gave us a shot, and that means a lot to me, man.
Wow.
And like, because I did fucking deliver pizzas,
right.
And I did stand on a farm in the middle of nowhere, far from any city, and have this picture of sitting and doing shit like this, and I never thought it would fucking happen.
Right.
And here I am today.
See, you're appreciative, though. A lot of people go through the same stuff like that, but as soon as they hit the big time, they forget about it.
They're wrong.
No,
This guy right
Carl.
Carl can't wait to leave.
I change my phone every 2 weeks. Who are you? Chef who?
Did you have things that needed fixing for real?
Yeah, man. I mean, well, just for instance, I mean, like, I didn't have any faith in myself to do what I'm doing right now, and I'm doing it, so I was wrong.
Yeah.
Why was I so down on myself? That was bullshit. It was weak.
Did you have a tough upbringing?
No, man. Great upbringing. But we were taught to be, I have just enough intelligence to know how good people are.
Right.
Meaning, like, when I moved to LA, I knew this is going to be fucking tough. That's
Right.
scary shit.
Sure.
But the thing I thought, Vic, in the end, somebody was like, aren't you worried about that there's a lot of competition? And I'm like, yeah, but in a race, you're only racing the people in the front. And if you don't think you can be in the front, you shouldn't even be in a race at all.
I see.
You know
He's
what I mean?
good. He's good.
So,
Hear that, Ope? Pay attention.
so 20, it doesn't matter if you got
Colin and I are
20,000.
both telling you right now, please listen.
Please listen. He's right now. Drink that soup that he's making.
So that was kind of the idea.
Yeah, I looked inside for the last few years myself. I can't look over there as I tell you this, but because they're gonna just mock it. But got into meditation and some therapy.
Shaman.
And I saw a shaman. That's for another episode.
A shaman. No
He
shit.
did.
I saw a shaman.
Native American shaman.
Even the rock star's like, you did.
No, he said no shit.
I like it. I like it.
He said no shit in a good way.
Okay.
No shit.
He was like, "That's impressive." I saw it in his eyes.
You know what, man? I think that's fucking great.
There you go.
I do. I think it's fucking great. I do. I'm being honest.
I lost him.
No, he actually is
You're
being nice.
gonna pay for it with them, but not with me, man.
He's being nice.
I've noticed that there's so little kindness in this room that genuine kindness is seen as sarcasm.
Didn't take you long.
No, man, I'm figuring it out.
We're very guarded. Yeah.
You know, man, I think that's all great shit.
No, my wife's really into yoga, meditation stuff. So I've dipped in, and then there's this Reiki master, and he does some shaman shit. So he comes over to my apartment on the Upper West Side. Oh boy, the building was not happy when this guy walked in.
Oh yeah,
he had the tribal drums, and he was dressed the part with all sorts of little bags of medicine.
yeah.
And he had me snort something, and I've never done heroin.
Oh Lord!
But for a second or two, no, not a second, for probably 20 straight minutes, I'm like, is this heroin? I was freaking the F out.
Oh, wow.
It was some kind of Peruvian plant that was tobacco based. I gotta get all my info for the official shaman podcast.
Oh my God.
But it just, I snorted in one nostril, and my whole right side was just fired up, and
Welcome to my life.
and I was more than alert.
I didn't
I'll
realize
tell
I
you.
was into shamans.
And then he says, "You ready for the left side?" I'm like, at this point, why? All right, and left
go.
side, and then my body was on fire.
Wow.
And
I
I
what
was
that
getting
was.
paranoid, going, "What the hell did I just do? Heroin or something?" But it's tobacco based, and it's this Peruvian plant. and, all right, just-
Peruvian plant. Yeah.
Yeah, man, but it all comes from that place of wanting to get it together, right? Like inside, like even that's probably weird for people who have been fans of yours for years to think, why the fuck would you need to do that? Well,
yeah,
it's a lot of fucking pressure, and there's a lot, staying on. You can't do one good show and have a career.
Right.
You have to do a good show every fucking time.
right. Yeah.
Same
Every
as you,
time.
though. Same. You're
No,
Yeah, you
speaking
got to
your own
leave it lay
words.
out there, man,
Right.
or nothing. You got
Yeah.
nothing. Johnny Carson did fucking 30 years of great shows. I mean, it's like you got to freaking kill it every time, right? I mean, even when you ain't killing it, you got to be trying to kill it.
Yeah. Or you got to
right?
make believe you're killing it.
Yeah.
You got to put that smile on your face. Wow. Now there's a lot of things to hit here. So, like, I had a lot of weight on my shoulders at the height of my success. So I didn't really enjoy it as much. And I was irritable. I had an anger problem. Then I met my wife and realized, I got to figure my shit out because I'm really into this. And then when I had my kids, I'm like, oh my God, get your crap together.
Yeah.
So it really started when I met my wife 14 years ago, and it took a long time.
My wife saved my life too, man.
For real?
How long you been married?
10 years.
Nice.
I have the complete opposite story.
Carl's going through some stuff
Carl's going through a thing right now.
right now. Sure, for real.
I'm going to talk to him about the shaman. I'll talk with the shaman.
Get the shaman, man.
Earmuffs.
Get the shaman.
Earmuffs. We're going to have a moment now, me and Chris. How did she save your life? You just
Fucking
wanted to be a
made
better
me-
person?
Yeah, man. I wanted to be worthy of being around her.
Right on, man.
You know?
We're gonna, we're gonna
I could have fucking fucked my life up and been fine with that
Right.
on my own.
Right. We're going to snort some Peruvian dust,
I
man.
think we're doing it already.
We're going to do that.
Do you have children? He's got two.
No,
None?
I couldn't do this to a kid because I travel. I travel too much.
Sure.
Would you ever want to have kids, or you guys are good?
You know, I'd love to, but I'm willing to walk off the cliff of that option without it. If it doesn't happen, because I got to be a musician.
Right. Well, that
I worked a long time to get the shot. Now that it's out there, some people are listening, and while I got it in me to do it,
right.
that's all. You know, loving my wife, being a good guy, giving a shit about my family, making sure they know I love them, and playing fucking good rock and roll is all I care about right
That's
now.
awesome. And then the other point I want to go back to, where you have to almost fake it. You guys are performing every night, and there's no way I'm going to believe you if you say you enjoy every single show.
You know, I don't know if I even quantify it while it's happening.
Really?
I think about it afterwards. You know, you create from the heart, you edit from the mind. You know?
Okay. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That's deep.
Bumper sticker.
He read that off a tombstone.
No,
in
man,
Paris.
that's real. That's amazing. That should be Carl. That's your next T-shirt.
There you go. You can have it.
Doing it.
But
Oh, that's brilliant. That's brilliant.
No, I
but
agree.
that's what I kind of come. You know, you create from the heart. The heart doesn't have a good or bad. It's just you're just being real or you're not. And when we play, I played so many years in shitty clubs and failed miserably for years that I do actually love every show now in retrospect.
That's awesome.
Now I will say this though. There are shows where I come off and I'm like, man, I didn't have it tonight. The thing that lets me sleep is, did you give it everything you had? And I can say that most times.
Right.
You know, and if I didn't, that ain't happening the next day.
Right.
I'll tell you that much, because I fucked up. And I think the greatest thing anybody can give an entertainer of any kind is their attention. That's the greatest gift, is to give somebody a little bit of their time.
Right.
That's their life passing them by, and they're giving you the time, right? Don't fuck with it. You know, do a good job. You know, be worthy of that.
Right.
You know, and that's the way I think about it. And afterwards, that's when the thoughts come in. So in retrospect, yeah, I can have nights where it's like, yeah, man, that didn't really work out that well, or man, that wasn't as cool as last night. But during the show, never.
So let me take it the other way really fast. Then, what makes a show where you get off stage and go, "Wow, that one was a little more special"?
I don't know, man.
Oh, really?
It's not out of my hands. It's the people.
No, that's what
You know,
I mean.
Vic, man.
Yeah, no.
fucking-
So the energy, now, that's what I was going to say.
you're hitting your jokes.
Sure, it
the
works.
fucking shit's going off the
I got it,
walls. You
right.
got every laugh in the building is just blowing up. You can't miss. You get off stage. Do you know why?
No,
Because
I
if
just
you
think
did-
that crowd was
That was there.
really good. They were like what you're saying, the energy of the magic of the moment
Yeah,
was all
there's
it
no
was.
way to quantify.
When you're
or
a creative
understand it.
person, there's nothing better than being in what you're calling the zone.
Certainly.
And you can't really wrap your head around it. You can't explain it. You can't bottle it.
No, that's what
but
he
when
said.
it happens and when
Right.
you know you're in the zone, there's almost not a better feeling.
Well, I'm sure you know. I'll ad lib,
Yeah.
and then I'll run straight to a napkin and grab it. And those are really good. When I'm running and I can't even talk to anybody. I'm running to the waitress, going, "Give me your pen."
Wow.
I'm grabbing a cocktail napkin and I'm writing down 7 or 8 words because I was in the zone and something came out. And now something I might have been doing for 10 years actually has 4 or 5 lines in it now that I never did before. But
Right.
that's more music than comedy, probably. I would know.
I don't know, man. I mean, you know, I watched my grandma cook, same damn shit. You know, she never thought about it. And I mean, I don't know.
I like it.
I think
That's Carl.
I think it flies across every form of anything.
I've asked that question a lot. I like your answer the best.
Oh, thanks, man.
It's
Told you the truth.
It's the truth. It's there's it's
I got
genuine.
nothing to lose, man.
Right.
I wasn't supposed to be here. You know what I mean? So all I want to do is tell the truth.
What do you mean you weren't supposed to be here?
I wasn't supposed to make it to this point.
He's saying he feels very fortunate.
Yeah,
no,
no, you're thinking, I mean, like, die. No.
No, maybe I was.
No.
I was starting to
No. Yeah, you're like, now, Carl's like, now we're finally getting somewhere. No, I mean, like, I literally didn't believe that I would ever have a voice.
No,
like
I was thinking
this.
of a.
Do you understand what I mean?
I understand, but I was going in back to maybe a bad childhood or something.
No.
He said he had a good.
Yeah, no, I get it now. Yeah,
No,
of course.
where I was at with that, just to be clear, was I was saying that I didn't believe that I would ever connect.
But Chris, you did believe because you kept going. And
I believed because I had to, I think.
Oh, okay.
Your wife probably helped you a little bit along the way.
She did, man.
Right.
And I helped her too. You know, that's the way it works. Carl, that's what you're looking for, by the way, if you're out there looking.
Didn't find it yet.
So tell us about the new album, the rest of it. Life to
it's
Fix
just-
obviously is a great song that everyone's playing right now. And,
Yeah.
and the album comes out in June, right?
Yeah, June 22nd.
June 22nd.
It's called All of This Life.
Yes.
And it's it's just a rock and roll record. It's not like a bunch of heavy, deep intros. It's just rock and roll. But there are some themes in there, and I think, like, one of the things I always, I feel like I'm getting a little too shaman myself here, but I will say this. Maybe there is the Peruvian dust in the air, but
go over to his.
But I will say this. I'll say this, man.
happening.
The center concept of what I learned and what I believe, and I think it's a mathematical fact, is no matter how dark the darkness, no matter how vast, it cannot stop a light, even the smallest one. And a light will exist, and that's what it's about.
Damn, I love that.
That's what Leonard Cohen said. There's a crack in everything. That's
Yes.
how the light gets in.
Yeah.
Right.
By the
Leonard
way,
Cohen, though.
to
That's
Carl
great.
and Vic, the shaman came back twice.
Fucking boo. Sad.
Twice.
I want to hear the story, but I don't want to hear
I don't want to know anything. I'm trying to block it out of my mind.
Because you know what? There's no shamans in New York
hearing-
City.
I want a worm in my ear right now eating this out.
I'm going to invite Chris Vos to do the shaman podcast with me.
I'll be in your corner, man.
We should actually have the guy
He'll
come
stick
in
with
and
you.
go through the whole process. Oh my God. I don't know if I'm brave enough to do that. Maybe. So you guys have already hit the road, right?
Yeah. Yeah, we'll be coming back. New York. We're playing Terminal 5 October 18th.
Wow.
That's my birthday present to myself.
Beautiful.
Come on back.
Yeah, we'll
I
be
certainly
there.
will.
And we'll be doing a Will Turn out in L.A. We're doing 2 nights at the Fillmore in San Francisco, the Riv, Chicago.
Love the Fillmore.
Yeah.
Going to have J.
Fillmore's
Roddy
great.
Walston in the business. Have you heard them?
No.
They're the shit. You should listen to them.
What's your name again?
J. Roddy Walston in the business.
Okay.
Great rock and roll band
Nice.
out of Baltimore.
Nice.
I'll check him out.
I
Good
picked up
sandwiches
from
and death.
earlier. You must be from Baltimore.
No, Carl is the king of
my
chapped
favorite-
pit beef.
My favorite sandwich in America is a Chaps Pit beef sandwich in Baltimore.
And you want a crown or a trophy or
I'm
something?
the king of Chaps beef.
Yes, for real.
So it was- I kind of cheated. So they had a thing that said you get a crown and free sandwiches for a year if you enter.
Mm-hmm.
And the guy calls me and goes, "Hey, asshole from the Food Network. This was for normal people. You understand?" He's like, "Whoever got the most," and it was so embarrassing. Like, and in third place with 30 likes, Deborah from Baltimore, my first place. But 1.7 million likes, Carl is the king. And like, no one was there. I brought my own crown. I brought my own crown and scepter and had them take a picture. No one was happy. They're like, "Hey, Carl,
Thanks, Carl.
what a dick this guy is."
I got to ask one other question. So when I first met you guys, I was blown away by the record company immediately because of Mark Goodman, one of the original MTV
Yeah, man, Mark's great.
VJs. We were talking about this before we got in here today, but
This was when something good happened in the bathroom.
yeah. So in the bathroom, you're peeing next to everyone, and Mark was next to me. And I'm like, "Hey, man, have you heard anything good lately?" He's the one,
Yeah.
for real.
Yeah, he went right into it.
You did tell me that.
Oh, I did.
You
So
have,
He
yeah.
goes, "Oh, you got to check out the record company." I was hooked
Mark's great.
immediately, but I was also mad, and I'll tell you why. And I think I said it in a past interview. I'm like, man, if this band came out like 20 years ago, no, I'm just talking about the music business, not your
Right.
sound. Your sound is perfect for today. You guys would have been fucking ridiculously wealthy. So with that,
now I'm fucking depressed.
but with that
See,
said,
now you're fucking
No,
taking
no,
it back
no,
to the
no,
dark
no,
didn't
side.
do a damn
Right,
thing for
come
you.
no,
on,
I'm bringing it
Shaman.
around though. How are you guys making money these days? 'Cause no, there was a point where it was almost impossible, but it seems like the bands are figuring it out again.
Yeah, man, it's live. You know, live is a great thing. You get some, you get placements, television stuff. But live, that's where the rubber hits the road, man.
Right.
And I wasn't. It's kind of like people say to people who don't have children. You'll say to a guy like me, not you, but somebody will say, "You don't know what you're missing," and I say, "You're right. I don't know
Right.
what I'm missing. I don't have a kid, so I don't know what love I'm missing. So I
Right.
don't know. I literally don't know. So I'm not missing it,
Right.
Because I don't know.
Super
Right.
overrated.
I wasn't I wasn't there for the millions, so I don't know shit about that. If I had that and lost it, I'm sure I'd be really pissed, but I'm just happy to be doing.
No, you
this
guys are obviously doing well, and it turned around. It was just something I felt.
Yeah.
I felt bad because like guys our age and stuff. I feel guilty when I could just listen to anyone's music for free.
Yeah.
Although YouTube's helping out now because
Yeah.
when you click on
They're-
your
you know.
shit, they're passing some.
They're gonna figure everything out. It's got a two-way street. On the one hand, you're like, well, it's a bummer, but then on another hand, you're like, a guy like me, it's like, man, it's you can get the viral shit and like people just passing it to each other. It's great.
Right.
Your shit gets out there.
It's good and bad because then there's a lot of bands that would have never got the exposure because I come from
Right.
A music radio world where you saw the bands that were
Yeah.
just as good as the stuff we were playing, but they didn't
Couldn't
have a
get
shot. There were simply weren't enough spaces. So when all that opened up, certainly plenty of other bands had the opportunity to really show off their.
Well, that's why going to see live music is, like I said about the Hendrix album.
Yeah.
It's if I don't go every month or so, I feel horrible.
Yeah,
And I don't play, I don't sing, I don't do anything. But the minute I set foot, I don't care if it's a crappy cover band in a bar on the road that I wandered in in Wausau, Wisconsin at 12:30. But by God, they're playing Low Spark of High Heel Boys.
Right.
I'm on it.
Yeah, man, I hear you.
In big show, little show, you got to go see live music. It just makes you feel better.
I think that last question was stupid. Now that I
Sorry.
think about it.
Yeah, it was.
Why was it stupid?
Because I feel bad that I said it, because I know it's not about the money. I was just trying to bring it to a conversation about the music industry.
No, man,
at a whole, because I saw all the changes where like I saw
Yeah.
bands that were really established.
Well, what I'm telling you is rest easy because
Okay.
guys like me don't know any better.
Okay. Because
So
I saw the guys
you can feel
where they,
bad, but I'm just happy. I don't know anything about it. So it's like you can rest easy.
I
love Chris.
He's funny, man.
No, but I also
Chris is
do-
funny as hell.
Thank you.
I realized there was a slight misstep, but because I also were friends with bands and stuff that I saw them fall off the cliff. Because then next thing you know, they were counting on this and that,
Yeah.
and the touring money and the record sales, and then boom, Napster. It started with that shit.
Yeah.
And all of a
The
sudden
good thing
these
is
guys
people who are
lost it
into
all.
shit nowadays, they're really into it for the right reasons, I think, a lot of times. When you're talking about rock and roll.
Right.
Because rock and roll isn't the king of it all anymore. And I think that's where the whole debate of is it dying, is it dead? And I always say, fuck no, it isn't. But, are you going to sit there and say, oh, it's the most popular genre in the world anymore? No, it's not.
Right.
But so what? What am I supposed to do? Stop fucking playing it?
Right.
It's like I'm gonna keep playing it, and to me it's like the people that want to keep coming back are the best people, man. And man, we have people that have come back like 6, 7, 8, 12 times, and it's like that's good shit.
Yeah.
That's why like are you much of a baseball fan?
You know what? It's the only sport in recent years I don't follow anymore. I used to love it, but
this won't hinge on anything new.
okay.
There's another thing. I feel like I'm tossing out a lot of fucking shit like this, but I'm gonna just go. This is I'm in the spirit of the honesty of this program. Yes.
Good. Yes.
Joe DiMaggio.
Right.
I'm gonna paraphrase for those big Joe DiMaggio fans in case I make a mistake.
Marilyn Monroe in the baseball bat?
No. No.
There he is.
I'm staying at the positive side, just the baseball.
All right, sorry.
So going back to the baseball. Do you know what Joe DiMaggio said about playing ball, why he played ball so hard, why he played the way he did every day? Because he was known as, and everybody knows nobody's perfect, but on a baseball field, Joe DiMaggio apparently was the man all the time. And when he got asked, why do you play so hard, Joe? his answer, and it stuck with me, was there might be a kid in the ballpark I'm his favorite player, and he'll only see me once. And if I don't play hard, he's going to go home and think I'm no good. Yeah. I was like, shit, man, that's a good reason. Wow. Mm-hmm. So it's like, I kind of try to keep that in my heart when we play, too.
That's awesome.
Great answer.
That's a great answer. I think that's a great place to stop this, right?
Thanks, man.
Chris
Fine
Vos.
by me. Yeah, no kidding, buddy. I can't wait.
I appreciate y'all, man. Thanks for having
This
me
is
in here.
hilarious.
No, dude, no, really, this is
you're
perfect.
Smart.
Thank you,
you're
dude.
smarter than us.
Yes,
at
I'm
least.
glad the two other guys aren't here.
Oh, no.
Mark and Alex are awesome. Too.
They're amazing.
They really are. These guys are so like down to earth. That's why I don't know. We kind of hit it off from the first day.
Yeah, we did.
I've been texting people for an hour that we're best friends.
Well, now you got to set them up.
Yeah, we'll set them up.
Where are we sending Chris?
Wherever he wants to eat.
Yeah,
We just go to take him to Black Tap, dude.
That's what I hear.
He makes a great hamburger.
We'll
And you
have
have
to
a
do it.
hamburger reviewer right here. This is what he does. He wrote a book on hamburgers.
Did you?
Yeah. Working
Oh, you're still working on it.
Yeah.
All right.
Well, I'm very lazy.
Yeah. Okay.
Get a shaman. Get a burger shaman.
Nick Solaris is in here with us, by the way, for everybody who's not listening. Nick is the
I've been here
king.
the whole time. I just never said anything.
Nick is the king of meat.
You don't want to trample on this magic.
Thank you, Chris. No, thank you.
I want to
Nick.
try some.
Those Australians really know how to insult you, don't they?
Homie.
All right, why don't we wrap it up? So Chris Vos from the record company, Life to Fix is out everywhere. Check it out wherever you get your music. And then the album again, June 22nd.
Yes.
And I forgot the name of it. Oh my God.
All of This Life.
Thank you. Yes.
And you're all around all summer on the road the whole time?
Yeah, fall is going to be the big tour. So
Okay.
go to therecordcompany.net to check that out. Thanks to everybody for listening to me, and thank you, Opie and guys, for having me.
Awesome.
Thanks to our lovely engineer for sitting here and making sure we sound good.
Absolutely. Go see
She
these
made it.
guys.
She actually has a studio that Opie likes to be in. So that's cool.
I love this studio.
Yeah,
I thought he was going to
They're
start
never
itching.
leaving, by the way, ever.
I don't know if I want to be in a studio anymore. The
I hope you
podcast we've been
change your
just
mind because I'm pretty fucking comfortable. Bathrooms and water, lights.
We've been taking
Guitars on the wall.
There's beautiful stuff here.
we literally take the podcast all over the place.
awesome,
Especially in New York City. There's so many places to go. I guess eventually we're going to have to settle into a studio.
They call that punk rock, man.
Yeah, man.
You're punk now.
We're doing a little punk rock action.
Yeah.
It's the punk rock phase of our career.
Dead Kennedys, baby.
I call it the Honey Drippers phase for me. I was in
Ooh.
Zeppelin, and
I love the
now
Honey
I'm doing the
Drippers.
Honey Drippers.
I love the Honey Drippers.
You had a couple of good songs, right?
It's a great record.
Yeah, you know.
Nobody knows what you guys are talking about.
He
does.
knows
You
the
know
Honey Drippers.
Well, he's a
knows.
rock star.
Well,
Of course he's
don't
gonna
say
know.
nobody. If a
Well, I'm
goddamn
talking-
musician sitting here.
I'm the nobody.
Oh, okay. All right, Carl. All right. We'll talk about La Bamba for years.
That's so funny. I hit my head.
He just banged his head.
Yeah, you're right about the studio thing.
All right, we're out of here. Chris Vos from the record company.
Thanks,
Thank you.
guys.
Awesome. All right.
Oh, appreciate it.
Opie Radio.